Out of the gates and ready to go. Welcome into this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. So glad to have you with us. Coming up on today's show, we'll go over the latest news and rumors on your Seattle Seahawks, as we got a lot to get to from ESPN's Bill Barnwell, as he's talking about Seattle potentially trading up in the draft, also signing Stephon Gilmore. We'll dissect that coming up in just a bit. Also, we're going to go over a list of updated free agent targets for the Hawks. I got 5 names at 5 different positions that we will discuss coming up later on in the show. And we will go over the updated depth chart. If the season began today, who would be taking the field for Seattle? I am going to go over the unofficial depth chart for your Seattle Seahawks, position by position, at the end of today's show. As you guys file in, shout out your city. We'll shout you out as we get this show off and rolling. We are coming at you from the Chat Sports Studios here on this fine Monday from downtown Dallas, Texas. Had a nice weekend. Enjoyed watching some hoops. Unfortunately, my Kansas Jayhawks got eliminated. They are at home watching like the rest of us. But nonetheless, it is March, and I've enjoyed myself. Can't wait to be at the Final Four, not this weekend, but next weekend in San Antonio. So that should be a great time. But appreciate you guys being here. Let us know where you're at. Yeah. Enjoy that dirty-ass water and those big old women in San Antonio. We'll see if I'm ready for them. Got Charles in Wichita Falls, Texas. Got Pat in Bellingham, Washington. We got John is checking in from Orting. Got Michael in Honolulu. Mikey in Houston. Crazy enough, he's in Houston. Where else? Where are you guys at? We got Gerald in Waterloo, Iowa. Trying to remember what school's up in Waterloo. Is that Northern Iowa? I know there's some big college there in Waterloo. Got Raina is in Spokane. Siosi is in Tonga. We got Mike in Kingston, Washington. Gary is in Tillamook, Oregon. Gary, does it still smell terrible in Tillamook because of all those cows from the Tillamook factory? I got Unixu in Brim. Got Mason checking in from Battleground. Gingerbread Man is in the house. The Gingerbread Man. That's the new nickname we came up with Sam Darnold. He's checking in from Washington. Good to see you here. Casey Brown is in Flat, Oklahoma. Casey, good to see you from my neck of the woods, the great state of Oklahoma, my home state. Gerald says yes, Northern Iowa. See, I know ball. Northern Iowa, they're in Waterloo. We got Tim says go Hawks in Pennsylvania. Dirty Earl is in Wisconsin. Rusty says Charles Barkley loves San Antonio. I can't wait to run into Sir Charles in San Antonio here in a couple of weeks, see what he has to say about San Antonio. I had when I was in college, the last time I went to the Final Four in San Antonio, I had a legendary interview with Charles Barkley asking him all about San Antonio. I remember he directed a question back to me. He said, would you drink that water? Would you eat any fish out of that river in San Antonio? And I said, I don't know. And he's like, that's what I thought. We got Tyson in Tri-Cities. Michael's in Ocean Shores, Washington. Chat, what's better, the Oregon coast or the Washington coast? I've spent time on both. And I might make some enemies saying this. I think I might like the Oregon coast better than the Washington coast. Is that a hot take? Is that a bad take? Weigh in. Larry is in Marysville. Got Tyler's in Vancouver, Washington. Appreciate y'all being here with us. We're going to talk plenty about free agency today, as we are now in week 3 of free agency. Who is a player the Seahawks should sign? If you had to give me one player, who would it be and why? Give me your answer of a player Seattle should sign in free agency. And now I have started a debate among the chat between the Oregon or Washington coast. I mean, the Oregon coast, Astoria is beautiful, Seaside. You got some great beach towns on the Oregon side. that I don't know if Washington can compete with their coast. Just being honest here. Hey. But they're both great. Let's see. Who else we got here? Teddy's checking in from Guam. Who's the player the Hawks should sign? Gerald says rather have Stephon Diggs. We didn't say you can't have Stephon Diggs and Stephon Gilmore. You could potentially have both. Pat says the Oregon coast is the most beautiful in the United States. Charles says the Oregon coast is better. Lon says the Oregon coast is way better. Okay, so I may know what I'm talking about here, giving credit to the Oregon coast. Who is a player the Hawks should sign in free agency? Let me know in the chat. We're going to talk about Stephon Gilmore, and I got 5 other players that we will be bringing up here in a moment. Oh, I'm being sent some news. We have a Seahawks signing in. Eric Saubert, tight end. Let's get that ready, Tex. I'll get out the template. We'll throw that into the first segment. Yeah, we'll just make it its own segment because that's not going to cuck anything else. Let's see. Can you organize with tell production that we need? We'll tape that here in live. We'll need somebody to get copy, thumbnail, and highlight cut. Let's see here. Let me get the template out. Folks, we're trying to manage 2 things at once. So we have a signing coming in. Let me go ahead and change the live title. There we go. A tight end, and we'll have to add him to the depth chart too. You can just add him as, I think there's some empty space there on the tight end one. You can just, the next line. Yeah, because he'll be a backup. Yep, and that they can just get the stuff from the template. Yes, I will do that right now. Folks, a little bit of breaking news coming into the show just a few moments ago. Eric Saubert has been signed. The news coming in just a few moments ago from the San Francisco 49ers. A new signing coming in. Let's see here. I'll get some information on Saubert here in just a moment, folks. Former San Francisco 49ers tight end. Yes, I will send this to you. Okay. Let me get some information on him, folks, and then we'll do a video to react to this news. Stand by, my friends. Eric Saubert. How would you grade the signing of Eric Saubert? A, B, C, D, or F? Let us know, and I'm going to get some more information on him in just a bit, folks. Here we go. Oh, God, he has played for a lot of teams. Falcons, Patriots, Raiders, Bears, Jags, Broncos, Dolphins, Cowboys, Texans, 49ers. That's a lot. 2017 fifth-round pick out of Drake University. Okay. Some stats for you here. Last year, he had 14 total catches for 97 yards. 14 total catches for 47 yards. Okay. I am writing up this graphic right now, Tex. Good work, thank you. Grade the signing. Yeah. If you want to put like a grade the signing up to give something, what do you guys think of this news? A, B, C, D, or F. Charles says B plus. Nick says C. Tyler says F minus. Rusty says pylon. Let's see here. He has played in 101 career games with 19 starts. 2015, 2017, fifth round pick out of Drake. News coming in just a few moments ago. Okay. There we go. Good work, Tex. Grade the signing. We're just getting in this news in real time, folks, just as the show started. Bear with us here, folks. Okay. Okay. I got that all scripted now. Sweet. Folks, there we go. Sorry about that. We had to get our stuff ready for this. Do you want me to go ahead and put the social graphic in the show, too, just to give us something? Okay. Yeah. Let me put that in. Breaking news coming in just a few moments ago. ESPN's Adam Schefter of a signing. The Seahawks bring in Eric Saubert, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers, at the tight end position. So now your tight ends, you got Noah Fant, A.J. Barner, Brady Russell, and now Saubert, 4 tight ends on the roster for Seattle. Let's see here. News coming in just a few moments ago from Adam Schefter. I'll be honest, this one's kind of out of left field. This one's a little bit out of left field. I didn't see it coming. There we go. Now I got it scripted. Oh, man. Big super chat from Gingerbread Man. We haven't got the super chat menu because we were reacting to this breaking news, my friends. Gingerbread Man, we'll get to the super chat menu in a bit, and we'll respond to your super chat. Sorry, we're trying to catch up with all this in real time. Grade the signing. Charles goes B+. Jackson says C. Tyler Holbert says F-. Frank says F. Shady Wolf says C. Michael says C. Justin JJ says C. Shady Wolf says C. Tyson says C. The General says who? Jared says C. That is. Look at that. Give me 2 more seconds. Shady says he's a 67 overall in Madden. That's not a great sign. The General says darn. Leo going B. Okay. So those are some of our grades there. Here we go. We haven't got to the menu yet, and here's a big super chat already coming in. Get ready, folks. Here it is. The Gingerbread Man with a $50 super chat. Bang! Make it right in here. Make it right in here. Spam Gingerbread Man. The Gingerbread Man. The Gingerbread Man coming in hot. Coming in hot. What a way to start the show in this breaking news. Coming in. What's on the menu? B for a tight end, but I'm not hopeful. Maybe as a blocker I can see. It sounds like he's a pretty decent blocking tight end. I'll be honest. I don't know a ton about him. I will learn at the same time you guys will about Eric Saubert, and we'll give you our best reaction here in just a bit. But, yeah, everybody spam Gingerbread Man. We haven't got to the menu yet. And what we are doing here today on the Super Chat menu is for every $50 Super Chat, we give you 2 girls and 1 cup. And we'll go to the Super Chat menu here in just a moment, but we'll pay this one off first. And what 2 girls, 1 cup is, by the way, is I get to drink a cup of beer, and Tex gets to show you 2 girls on screen. We don't know who they are. I get to find out with the rest of you. But here's the first cup of beer. Everybody spam Gingerbread Man. Let's have a day. Gingerbread Man, cheers to you. Go Hawks. Spam Gingerbread Man for the 50, the first big super chat of the day. Woo! Woo! There we go. There we go. Oh! That's how we do it. That's how we do it, my friends. And when Tex is ready, we'll show you who the two girls are. Give Tex a moment, folks. He's trying to do 100 things right now because this breaking news. We're trying to put all our ducks in a row, all line them together. We'll show you who the two girls are here in just a moment for Gingerbread Man for his two girls, one cup super chat. Every first-time super chatter today, you get the Seahawks chant. $5 will give you a beer cheers. $10 will give you some shots. $20 will spin the wheel of punishment. And $50 will give you two girls, one cup. If we reach $300 in super chats today, we will do a boot. It has been about 2 weeks since I have done a boot on this show. But we can potentially change that today, my friends, if we get $300 in super chats, and we're already $250 away from reaching that next mark. So we'll see if y'all can make that potentially happen today. Oh, it's the two girls, one cup. You got to pull up two girls, your choice. We'll see what Tex comes up with. This is for Gingerbread Man. Reed's saying, watch them beat the ugly two. I don't know what's coming. You all are going to find out with the rest of us. Spam Gingerbread Man for sending in that $50 super chat. Eric Saubert, I do have his PFF grades, by the way. Let me go over these. I'm pulling these up in real time. Like I said, folks, I'm finding out with the rest of y'all on this. Offensive grade of 51.2. Run block grade of 63.3. Fumbling grade of 20.4. Here we go, folks. Here's the two girls that you get. This is for our guy Gingerbread Man with the two girls, one cup. Here it is, folks. Oh, look at that. Rashida Jones and Amy Poehler. Very pleasant. Parks and Recreation. Parks and Recreation there with Amy Poehler and Rashida Jones. Rashida Jones was fantastic in Parks and Rec. I had a big crush on her on that show. Amy Poehler, not so much. Remind me, what was their characters' names? Oh, it's escaping my head here. Why is this escaping my head? Parks and Recreation was a fantastic show. Leslie Knope and Ann Perkins. Ann Perkins was lovely. Ann Perkins! And point his finger. Ann Perkins! Gingerbread Man says worth it. He got what he paid for, getting Ann and Leslie. Ann and Leslie. There we go. That's a good choice. Good choice. Appreciate that super chat coming in. There's the rest of the super chat menu if you'd like to participate in today's show. First time super chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5 do a beer cheers. $10 take some shots. $20 spin the wheel of punishment. $50 two girls, one cup. We're at $50 right now. And when we reach $300 in super chats, we will do a boot. We're already at 50 right now. Let's get the chat going. We need to let people know we're here, that we're live, we're doing this show. Yes, I'll give the shout-outs. I will give the shout-outs today. I need y'all to spam S as much as possible over the next minute. And let's let people know we're here, that we're talking Seahawks football, that we're having a great time today. Get those S's in the chat, and let's see how many we can get. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. I got Gingerbread Man. I got UXU. Gingerbread Man. Dalton. UXU. Dalton. Get some new names in there. Come on. Come on. UXU. Gingerbread Man. Dalton. I'm only seeing 3 people. Where are we at, everybody? Wake up. Wake up. Spam S. Spam S. Rena is here. Michael is here. Charles. Jeffrey. Reed. Michael. Jeffrey. Reed. Michael. Third Eye, what are you all pissed off about? What are you all pissed off about, man? What's your problem? What's your problem? We got Mike, Lon, Gingerbread Man, Mark, Renna, Pat, Doug. 10 more seconds. Keep going. Keep going. Gingerbread Man, Outpost, Jeffrey, Doug, Pat, Charles, Gingerbread Man, Mike, Lon, Doug, Jeffrey, Eric, Pat. There we go. There we go. News coming in just a few moments ago. Some breaking news into the show. The Seahawks have signed former 49ers tight end Eric Saubert, the most recent signing for Seattle. He's played for the Falcons, Patriots, Raiders, Bears, Jags, Broncos, Dolphins, Cowboys, Texans, and the 49ers in his career. He is a blocking tight end, folks. 47 career catches, 389 yards, and 3 touchdowns in his career. Most recently with the San Francisco 49ers. Played in all 17 games last year with 3 starts in San Francisco. That breaking news coming just a few moments ago. Outpost says, love this channel. Go Tyler. Love you too. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here with us. Let's get a like driver in here. Perfect. Sweet. Yeah, you're good. You're good. If you're ready to start today's show, like the video. I'm only at 5 likes right now. How does that happen, folks? How do we only have 5 likes right now? I know we can do better than that. I know we can do a hell of a lot better than that, folks. We got to get to 50 likes to start today's show. And when we get to 50 likes, we will get to the full reaction cut of the news of the most recent signing for the Seattle Seahawks. But we had to get to 50 likes. So I need you guys to like today's video. And let me know in the chat when you hit the like button on today's show. And we certainly would appreciate it. I can't believe we're only at 5 likes right now. Absurd. Absurd, if you ask me, the fact we're only at 5 likes right now. Like the video. Let me know in the chat when you like the video as well. And I'll shout you guys out. 5 likes. Is there a malfunction or something? There's no way we only have 5 likes right now. There's no way we only have 5 likes right now. Hit that like button. The General liked the video. Thank you, General. Uix says there's 6, actually. There's got to be more than that. I don't know how we don't have more likes right now. Reed says, let's get to 50 likes. Yep, that looks good. Who else? Who else has liked the video? Type me in the chat when you like the video. Let's get to 50 likes and we can start today's show. Doug liked it. I can always count on Doug. Thank you, Doug. Salute to you. Yeah, I think my counter's off today because there's no way we have just 5 likes right now. There's no way. There's no way. Wake YouTube up and let them know we've liked the video. Charles liked it. Thank you, Charles. Lon liked it. Outpost liked it. Renna liked it. Are we being shadow banned by YouTube? I've seen more than 5 people in the chat like the video. There's no way we don't just have 5 likes today. Charles did his part. Much appreciated. Let me hit the refresh. There's no way. There's no way, folks. There's no way we only have 5 likes right now. I refuse to believe that. Elevate says, you're the best to do it for the 12s. Video was liked. Thank you, Elevate. Much appreciated. I love the 12s. It's my honor. It's a pleasure to be here each and every day with y'all here on Seahawks Today. Jeffrey liked the video. Pat liked the video. Who else? Yeah, my counter's got to be off. There's no way that we have just 5 likes. It hasn't updated for me. I don't know what YouTube is doing today, bugging on us, but get YouTube's attention that we're here and hit that like button. Because I know we got more than 5 people that have liked today's video. Michael is saying that the Rams are going after us. That it's the Rams' fault of why YouTube's glitching on us. Yeah, there's no way. Keep on hitting that like button. Wake YouTube up. And Reed says it's cool to tune into you. Hey, Reed, I appreciate that. I appreciate you supporting the show and being here with us, man. Ron liked it. Pat liked it. Does anybody have an updated number? I'm still showing 5 on my end. There's just no way. There's just no way. Matt says 6. Yeah, we definitely have more than that. I don't know what YouTube's doing. We are being shadow banned. We are being shadow banned by YouTube. Google, YouTube, Silicon Valley hates the Hawks. Confirmed. Uix says, even if it's the Rams' fault, I'm just going to blame the Niners. Hey, YouTube's based in Silicon Valley. All those tech bros, yeah, they're coming after us. They are trying to shut us down, and we are not going to stand for it. We are not going to stand for it. Gingerbread Man, appreciate you. Manny liked the video. Doug liked it. Much appreciated. Thank you all for that, and it's all good. It's all good. Lon says, I dislike everything LA. I got to go to LA in about a month from now, and I enjoy traveling there. I could never live there. I end up going to LA a couple times a year, but it's usually not for vacation. It's because I have to go there, not because I want to go there. Manny says, I enjoy every time you're live. Manny, I appreciate that. Hopefully you enjoy our videos that we put out every day when we're not live as well. We keep you guys posted on that front, too. Charles liked it. Brian liked it. Thank you. Yeah. We got more than 5 likes. Let's go back to the Super Chat menu before we get to our segment here. Here is what's on the menu today. We're already at $50. We are $250 away from a boot on today's show. First-time Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5 will give you a beer cheers. $10, take down some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50 will give you 2 girls, 1 cup. $sign next to the chat box if you would like to contribute and get on today's program. And there is no mailbag today. It's Monday. We typically don't do mailbags on Mondays. So the only way you can get screen time, the only way that we can show you on our screen with whatever message you got, the only way you can guarantee that I see whatever you guys send us is by sending a Super Chat. So if you want to get on the show, if you want your message, your screen name, your avatar, whatever's on your mind, whether you want to talk about your Seahawks or you want to sound off about something, maybe you just want to pay me a compliment for that matter, hit the $sign next to the chat box, send a Super Chat. We'll get you on screen and show you some love here on today's show is how you can do so and get involved. It has been a record month here on the channel. We've had our best March ever, one of our best months, period, here. And it's all because of you guys, what you've done to invest and support this show. Everything. I say it from deep down at the bottom of my heart. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all for what you've been able to do for us, from the views being an all-time high, the likes, the subs, the Super Chats. This is going to be a month I'm going to remember the rest of my life of what the 12s have done here. The way you guys have been so active and supporting us, it's humbling, and I love y'all. I really do mean that. It has been awesome to see what you guys have done to make this show do what we do around here. We do it because of you guys. You guys make it all possible. And excited to see what's ahead. This next chapter of Seahawks football. The Sam Darnold era is upon us. And we're glad to have it here. Yes, that looks great. Cool. Okay. Let's go ahead and get to our segment. Let's react to this breaking news. Eric Saubert signing with the Seahawks. We'll start with that. Then we'll get to the rest of today's show. In case you're just joining us, we had to adapt on the fly. I had to script the show, and Tex had to build graphics, and we had to get our team together to get this show ready for you of this breaking news. So we're going to go ahead and react to it right now. And then we're going to go forward with the rest of the show after that. So that's what's been going on, folks, over the last few minutes. Yeah, it's all good. Michael says he's got to go to Martinsville. Michael, are you going to the race at Martinsville this weekend? I was just telling Big Tex about that. I'm excited about that Martinsville race. I wish I could go. Little NASCAR action at the Paperclip. Is that where you're going, Michael? sounds like a lot of fun to me. We'll react to this breaking news here in just a moment of Eric Saubert signing with the Hawks. And then we'll get to some news and rumors. And we'll talk about some free agents. And then we'll also get to an updated depth chart here in just a bit. So stand by for all of that here on this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones, Big Tex here with you. Happy to have you with us on this Monday afternoon here on the channel. Appreciate y'all being here with us. Gingerbread Man, is that news? I didn't see anything about Stephon Gilmore. Is that news that Stephon Gilmore? I didn't see anything about Gilmore going to the Patriots. Maybe you know something I don't, because if that's the case, that changes things for today's show. I hope you're not fooling me there. Yeah, he's still a free agent. He hasn't signed anywhere. Gingerbread Man, you tried to get us in that one. No, he hasn't signed. He's not a Patriot. He's still available. Let's see. That's all good. Mark, did you make a video on the Josh Jones signing? I did a while ago, about 2 weeks ago. Still on the channel. You can go back and watch that when you're done with this live show. If you missed out on that. Yes. That was a Jones Zone video. It was, like 10 or 11 o'clock at night when that signing came out, and I brought you a video from inside my apartment in the Jones Zone reacting to that news. So, yes, Mark, we did a video on the Josh Jones signing a while ago. But yes, we did do that. Let's see, what else? Oh, Brian saying Diggs. Stephon Diggs? What happened with Stephon Diggs? I think Stephon Diggs is still available. I haven't seen him anywhere about the Patriots or anything. I knew he was talking to them. I don't think he signed anywhere. That's fine. Okay, cool. All right, folks, let's go ahead and get to our segment now. Let's react to this breaking news, and then we'll get through the rest of today's show. Yes, sir. Let's go ahead and get started as we roll along here on this live edition of Seahawks Today. Ollie wants to know what's 2 girls, 1 cup. We drink a cup of beer and we show you 2 girls on screen for $50 super chat. That's what 2 girls, 1 cup is. A very popular item here on Seahawks Today. You don't know what girls we're going to show you, though. $sign next to the chat box if you want to contribute. Let's see. Yeah, Gingerbread Man. He's Diggs is not signed anywhere. Gilmore is not signed anywhere either. The Stephons are still available. They are still available out there, potentially for Seattle or for any other teams to sign. They have not signed anywhere. Breaking news a few moments ago. Seahawks signed former 49ers tight end Eric Saubert. Let's go ahead and react to it and bring you this breaking news here on this live edition of Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones, Big Tex here with you. We'll get to that. Then we'll talk about Stephon Gilmore and also potentially trading up in the first round of the draft. And then we'll get to some free agent targets. And then we'll get to an updated depth chart. So that is what's ahead. Glad to have you with us this live edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. Breaking news, reacting to the Eric Saubert signing. Yep. Cool. All right. And we can play the intro video. Yep. All right, here we go, folks. Let's talk about it. Seahawks Today, live edition, breaking news. Let's react to the newest member of the Seattle Seahawks starting right now. Happy Monday, everybody. We got some breaking news here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today as we have another signing. This time, it is tight end Eric Saubert, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. The news coming out just a few moments ago from ESPN's Adam Schefter that the Seahawks are signing former 49ers tight end Eric Saubert. And you may be wondering, who? Well, that's where we come in to tell you everything you need to know about Eric Saubert, formerly of the San Francisco 49ers. He has been the very definition of a journeyman in the National Football League, folks. And if you were hoping that the Seahawks here were signing a receiving tight end, I hate to break it to you, that is not the case. Saubert is the very definition of a blocking tight end in the NFL. And I'm going to go over his resume of the teams he's played for. He's played for so many teams, we can't even fit it all on the screen, folks. Most recently with the 49ers, the Texans, the Cowboys, Dolphins, Broncos. Prior to that, the Jags, the Bears, the Raiders, the Patriots, and the Falcons. A former fifth-round pick in 2017 out of Drake. Yes, the same Drake University that won against Missouri over the weekend in the NCAA tournament. Then they were quickly eliminated in the second round. Not a football school by any stretch of the imagination. A lot of experience in the NFL, 101 career games played with 19 starts. He started 3 games this past season for the San Francisco 49ers and played in all 17 games with San Fran. And this is a signing that you add him to this tight end room, it feels like a body. Now, maybe, just maybe, folks, something to ponder here. The Seahawks are trying to evaluate their options of having some H-backs, some fullbacks, some guys that can move around and do some different things. With Saubert's blocking abilities, maybe he could potentially slide in and be in the fullback role. Maybe he can come on field and be your blocking tight end, whatever it may be. I'd be very curious what Seattle has in mind exactly, because it all kind of remains to be seen at this point. How would you grade the signing? A, B, C, D, or F? It's our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Let us know what you think. A, B, C, D, or F? Way in the comment section. Let us know how you would grade the signing. My grade here is a C, and let me explain why. My standard for these C grades here in free agency for these lower-level players is a simple question. Does the signing hurt you? And if the answer is no, then it's a C. And I don't think this signing is going to hurt you by bringing him into the fold here. You get another body and see what you could potentially work with. And for me, that's what I look at is you put him in there, and this tight end room, you got Fant, you got A.J. Barner, and it kind of just remains to be seen with this group. It feels kind of incomplete. There was a lot of rumblings entering free agency that the Hawks were going to release Noah Fant, and he is still a member of the Seattle Seahawks right now. A.J. Barner had a solid rookie campaign. Brady Russell's been a guy that's been well-liked by the coaching staff in the past here. Saubert, I really don't know what the expectation is. Do they think that they can use him in a variety of ways? Do they just see him as another body? Is he competing with Brady Russell for a roster spot? There's a lot of questions that I have about this signing that we just don't know the answer to at this point. Folks, this is why you subscribe to Seattle Seahawks Today, as no signing is too big, no signing is too small. We cover it all here on the channel, and we are closing in on 65,000 subscribers here on Seahawks Today. Less than 200 away from reaching that next milestone. If you love the Seattle Seahawks, this is the channel for you. We are covering free agency like no one else is. We're bringing you our daily news and rumors. We're also bringing you live shows twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. We are bringing you breaking news, whether it happens while we're on a live show, in the office, whether I'm at home at the Jones Zone, doesn't matter. We're covering every single signing here on the channel. If you love the Hawks, this is the channel for you. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. To subscribe now, you'll be glad you did. All right, let's go over the numbers here on Eric Saubert. And I'll be honest, they're not earth-shattering numbers by any stretch of the imagination. Last year, with San Fran, played in all 17 games with 11 catches, 97 yards, did have a touchdown. The year prior, playing for Dallas and Houston, had 3 catches for 12 total yards. The year before that, 15 catches, 148 yards, and a touchdown. And the year prior to that, 8 catches, 47 yards, and a touchdown. And as I'm looking at his career, his best season was probably that 2022 campaign when he had the 15 catches and 148 yards and a touchdown. And he really didn't do a whole lot, statistically speaking, until that 2022 campaign. So one could argue that he's been kind of a late bloomer of sorts, that he didn't really do much till 2022, till he got to Denver when it came to the receiving front. And when I look a step further at his Pro Football Focus grades of what he's done in his career, as we show you these numbers, the grades of what he did, 2024, offensive grade of 51.2, receiving grade of 49.1, drop grade was really good, 78.7, fumbling grade not so much, 20.4, pass block grade of 31.8. His best year, according to PFF, of their grades, the 2021 season, which you don't see much statistically speaking there. He had a offensive grade of 67.8, a receiving grade of 49.3, a drop grade of 58.5, a fumbling grade of 72, and a pass block grade of 77.8. So for me, this signing is all about the blocking, getting another blocking tight end into the fold. What is your one-word reaction to this signing of Eric Saubert? What is your one word? Weigh in and let us know what that one word is. I'll give you my one-word reaction coming up in just a moment, but want to hear from you guys first. Weigh in and let us know. My one word is, okay, cool, I guess. This doesn't move the needle. It doesn't hurt you. Another blocking tight end. Like, let me be real with y'all. All right? If Seattle was going to bring in another tight end, I was hoping for a real receiving threat. Because beyond Noah Fant, the other tight ends that you had on the roster, A.J. Barner is still primarily a blocking tight end. We know Brady Russell is a blocking tight end. Can we get some guys that can catch the football? I mean, it doesn't hurt, but it's still like, really? Really? This is it? And you look throughout the rest of the signings in free agency. We're still sitting here saying, where are the offensive linemen at? Where are they at here? Like, okay, fine. But really, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Folks, got a great deal we're offering. Cooper Kupp jerseys are on sale now with free shipping at chatsports.com/Kupp. We have him in the number 10. Yes, he is going to wear his number 10. Worked out a deal with Uchenna Nwosu. Bought the jersey number from him. And you can buy this jersey too at chatsports.com/Kupp. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. You can check out our other Seahawks merchandise at the same link as well, in addition to Sam Darnold jerseys and more. Chatsports.com/Kupp to get yours today. Check it out now. You'll be glad you did. So Eric Saubert signs, and, just to be real, this doesn't move the needle, but let's see where Seattle goes from here. And it could be a whole lot worse. It really could be a whole lot worse for Seattle here. I can live with it, but it's not exciting, if we're going to be frank. And that's just kind of is what it is at this point in time. Appreciate y'all joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today for continuing offseason coverage, including every free agency signing. You got to be subscribed to the channel. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right. There we go. That is the reaction cut. Jingle was asking about the DeAnthony Bell video. We did that a couple days ago. Jingle? It's on the channel. We've covered every single signing. It's on the channel. We taped that on Friday. I was here. Tex was here. We did that video. Sorry you missed it, but it's there. It is there. I don't know why you missed it, but it is on the channel. It is on the channel, folks. News coming in. Eric Saubert signing with the Seahawks. We just gave you our instant reaction just a few moments ago. There's the Super Chat menu. If you'd like to take part, we'll catch up on Super Chats here in just a moment. First time Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, give you a beer cheers. $10, take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. And $50, we'll give you a little 2 girls, 1 cup action here on today's show. Let's see. Here we go. Gingerbread Man with a $5 Super Chat. That's a beer cheers. Cheers to you, Gingerbread Man. Maybe he learned some things last year from Kyle Juszczyk or whatever. Maybe so. Maybe so. You couldn't get Kyle Juszczyk because he's back in San Francisco, so maybe this is the next best thing. And we know that Clint Kubiak wants to use a fullback and wants to get creative. I think that's certainly possible. I think that's certainly possible. All right. Let's go ahead and get to our next segment. Yeah. Whatever's easier. Our next segment, let's talk about Seattle potentially trading from 18th overall. We'll also talk about Stephon Gilmore. Then later on, we'll talk free agent targets, and then we'll get to an updated depth chart. And that depth chart we did, we'll make sure we'll get that in there as up. The one that it'll be the last segment. Yes. Yep. Perfect. Sweet. Just want to make sure. All right. Without further ado, let's get to segment number 2. Folks, you're in for a treat today. We had only planned on 3 live segments. Now you get a 4-segment live with this breaking news. You're welcome, my friends. And the like numbers finally updated on my end. Now we're at 109. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for that. I'll take a shot for 100 likes. I'm glad that things updated. I believed y'all. I said that you were liking the video, but we were being shadow banned by YouTube, and you didn't let me down. So I appreciate y'all. Charlie the Unicorn says, is Tex running the show? Yeah, Tex is running the board. Yeah. Of course Tex is here. Big Tex is always here. Cheers, y'all. There's our first shot of the day down the pipe. Ugh. Oh. There we go. All right. Let's continue. Segment 2. Let's talk about trading up from 18 and also bringing in Stephon Gilmore. Let's continue as we get to our second segment right now here on Seahawks Today. You're watching Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jobe here with you. Thanks for joining us. We got a lot to discuss on today's show. Could Seattle trade up from 18th overall? Yes, trade up. Not something we talk about too often when it comes to John Schneider. Also, Stephon Gilmore. Could he be on his way to the Pacific Northwest? One ESPN NFL insider thinks both of these things are a possibility. We'll tell you about all that and more coming up in just a bit. Tyler Jones, your fearless leader, here with you. Folks, we are closing in on 65,000 subscribers here on the channel. Just a little over 150 away from reaching that next milestone. You may be wondering, why should I subscribe to Seahawks Today? We're bringing you daily news and rumors. We got live shows twice a week, breaking news. We also have our interactive Q&A mailbags. This is your one-stop shop for all things Seahawks. Make sure you subscribe. Tell all your friends that they need to subscribe as well. Best part about it, 100% free. YouTube.com/SeahawksTV to subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Y'all remember that show, The Jeffersons? Moving on up to the east side. Great show. Bill Barnwell of ESPN is saying that we need to keep an eye on Seattle potentially moving on up in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft, as they have a lot of picks and they have a decent number of needs to address. Here's more from Barnwell. After trading away Smith and Metcalf, the Seahawks have 5 top 100 picks with which to work Numbers 18, 50, 52, 82, and 92. By Chase Stewart's draft chart, they have the 8th most draft capital of any team, giving them all kinds of flexibility. There's only one of the top 13 teams by draft capital post a winning record last season. So they're closer to being competitive than most of the teams that have significant capital heading into April. So here's what we're talking about of these draft picks that Seattle has. 18, 50, 52, 82, 92. As you can see all right there, 5 picks in the top 100. And just to give an idea, when you pick in the top 100, you're going for all measurements top 100 talent. So you got a shot as is to get 5 top 100 players. That's pretty good. And then you go down from there. 137, 172, 175, 185, and 234 is the draft picks for Seattle of their 10 total picks that they have in this draft. More from Barnwell, suggesting potentially moving up. Schneider also has a clear mandate, at least from Seahawks fans. That's you guys. Fix the offensive line! The only player up front who should be guaranteed a starting role in 2025 is left tackle Charles Cross. Right tackle Abraham Lucas has been fine when healthy, but he only has played 13 games over the past 2 seasons because of various injuries. Seattle could add a veteran or 2 between now and the draft, but on paper, this is comfortably the worst offensive line in football. I would not be surprised if Seattle does end up trading up in this draft because of the assets they have and the obvious needs that they have to address. And especially when you look at the offensive line situation, I don't know if you want to gamble on who's potentially available or not available when you pick at 18. And here's the other thing. It really depends on how the board shakes out. We won't know till we get closer to the draft, until the draft is in progress, how the offensive line are shaping out. Maybe some of the guys start to fall, and you don't have to worry about trading from 18. Maybe there's a run on offensive linemen where John Schneider's got to be aggressive and get on the phone and say, all right, we can't wait around any longer. We got to go get our guy. It all depends on circumstance of what eventually happens. Barnwell also added this. My instinct is Schneider prefers to amass picks and take as many shots as the board as possible. But if there's an offensive lineman or 2 he loves in the first 3 rounds, he might need to consolidate picks and get guys who can immediately step into the lineup. Without a big offensive line signing at this point in time, Schneider has to do whatever it takes in this draft to get this offensive line figured out and figured out fast. Whatever it takes. If that means trading up, if that means having to give up players potentially or future picks, time is not of the essence here. You have to get this right now, and I think it's something to keep an eye on, potentially trading up from 18. I think it's very possible at this juncture. Our pin comment today, should the Seahawks trade up in the draft? You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Let us know. Type T for trade, P for pass. Get in that comment section. Tell me what you think. More from Bill Barnwell of ESPN. He is suggesting that the Seahawks sign corner Stephon Gilmore, formerly of the Minnesota Vikings. So potentially bringing a couple of Vikings to Seattle. In addition to Sam Darnold, could Stephon Gilmore join him? Here's more from Barnwell. The Vikings only signed Gilmore last offseason after they seemed to realize they didn't have enough at cornerback. He was more than worth their $7 million investment. I wouldn't be surprised if the same scenario happened this year, where a team that looks thin at cornerback and doesn't love what it sees from some of its young guns in camp goes after Gilmore as a plug-and-play solution over the summer. I like this idea. Gilmore, I think, is a quality starter. And I'll be honest, I do not feel comfortable with Josh Jobe being a full-time starter in the National Football League. I just don't. Josh Jobe filled a role last year in a short-term circumstance where they needed him. But he is nothing more than a backup, and that's okay. I'll take him on my team. I'm glad to have him back on a one-year, $2 million deal. But Seattle, they can do better than that. I can tell you that right now. Should the Seahawks sign Stephon Gilmore? You got two options here. Type Y for yes, in for no. Get in the comment section. Let us know which way you think, if they should bring in Gilmore or not. Got a great deal we're offering Hawks fans right now. Cooper Kupp jerseys are on sale with free shipping available at chatsports.com/Kupp. And I got to tell you, I'm so excited to have Cooper Kupp here. A lot of you, I'm sure, probably are close to Cooper Kupp. Whether you grew up with him or have some family or friends that know him out in Eastern Washington, whatever it may be. And what better way to support a home state guy than by wearing his jersey? This is a jersey, folks, that's going to age well. So why not go ahead and get this today and have it for the entire Cooper Kupp era and beyond in Seattle? Chatsports.com/Kupp is where you can get yours. We have other Seahawks merchandise, including Sam Darnold jerseys, available at that same link. Chatsports.com/Kupp to get yours now. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Let's tell you more about Stephon Gilmore. Gilmore, he has been a journeyman, been all over the place. Minnesota, Dallas, Indy, Carolina, New England, and Buffalo. 5-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first-team All-Pro. He won the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year award back in 2019. You're not getting the Defensive Player of the Year version of Stephon Gilmore from 2019, but he has still played at a very good level over the last several seasons. Last year in Minnesota, had 56 tackles, 1 TFL, 9 pass breakups, and an interception. The year prior to that in Dallas, had 68 tackles, 13 pass breakups, 2 interceptions, and a 1 forced fumble. And he has been a turnover machine over the years. And last year held his own in his coverage statistics. Gave up just a little over 500 yards, only allowed 3 touchdowns, had 9 pass breakups, QB rating of 87.5. I like this. And you don't have to break the bank either. Spotrac is projecting that Gilmore is going to get about a 1-year, $5.33 million deal. And my guy Patrick Seatman over at Vikings Now is thinking that whatever team signs Gilmore, probably going to be an August signing, that he likely will not go through training camp, will not want to do that. But I don't need Stephon Gilmore in training camp. I need him healthy and to be a starter when it matters. He's been through enough training camps, enough OTAs and all that. Let's let him kind of enjoy this offseason, and he can join and hop on board whatever he feels as far as I'm concerned. This is a no-brainer for me to bring in Stephon Gilmore and add him to this corner room. You start Devin Witherspoon at nickel. You go with Rick Woolen at outside. And you go with Josh Jobe as a backup for the three of them. To me, that makes a ton of sense. And then you got some other cats like Pritchett in the mix. Demarion Williams is also there. You brought in Jean Charles from the New Orleans Saints, who Seattle seems to be excited about in a backup role. And then Tyler Hall is still there. We'll see what that goes for him. But nonetheless, I think it would be a natural fit at a cheap cost, starting caliber corner, and you add some much-needed depth to this position. I'm all in on this possibility. Who is a corner these Seahawks should add? Whether it's Stephon Gilmore or another free agent, maybe it's somebody they should trade for, maybe it's somebody in the draft that comes to mind. Give me a name of a corner that you want to see Seattle add here in the coming months before the start of the 2025 campaign. Give me a name that you would like to see. Let us know. Appreciate you joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. If Stephon Gilmore signs, you'll be the first to know about it here on the channel. We'll bring you a video, react to it whenever that happens. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV to subscribe now. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time here on the channel. There we go. 2 down. We're about halfway home. 2 more segments to go. Up next, we'll talk free agent targets. And then we will get to a look at the updated depth chart for the Seattle Seahawks. What do you guys think? Should Seattle sign Stephon Gilmore? We did get a super chat we'll get to coming up in just a moment, folks. It's our poll question right now. 58% of you going yes, 42% voting no. Zach says if they don't want to go to training camp, they can bug off. Let him go somewhere with an easy defensive scheme so he can sit all offseason. Zach, I'll be honest, I don't think training camp's that important. I don't think training camp is that important for veteran players. I think training camp, and Tex is going to rejoin me here in a moment. I'd be curious what his thoughts are too. Training camp, I think, is all about young players. Training camp is about competing for roster spots and getting your young players to adapt to the system. If you're Stephon Gilmore, you've been through enough training camps. You know how this works. He would come in and be a starting corner. I don't think training camp matters a whole lot for a guy like Stephon Gilmore, but that's just me. So we'll see. Brian, he's a first-time super chatter. Spam Brian in the chat. First-time super chat. I love it when we get our first-time super chatters. Welcome to the show. Give Brian a warm introduction. Spam Brian in there. We love it when we have our first-time super chatters. So, Brian, you get 2 things here. Since you sent in a 20, we're going to spin the wheel of punishment. We're also going to chant your name as well. Big text real quick. I do want to get your opinion. We mentioned about Stephon Gilmore, that he probably doesn't want to go to training camp wherever he signs. I don't think that's a big deal. I got people in the chat that disagree. What does Big Tex think? Do you think training camp matters for a player like Stephon Gilmore?
Probably not. I mean, like you said, he's a veteran player. I think the older you get, the more years you have in the league, the less it matters to you as a player. Definitely important for rookies and sophomores, I'd say, but everyone outside of their 3rd year and beyond, I think it starts to matter less and less the more time goes on after that.
Like, let's say you sign him in mid-August, and he plays a little catch-up. Does anybody worry that he's going to be behind? I mean, come on. He's been there, done that before. I don't think that's a big deal. Spam Brian in the chat. Let's get Brian the chant, and then we'll spin the wheel of punishment. Big text for Brian.
See!
Hawks!
See!
Hawks!
See!
Hawks! Let's go, Brian. Let's go, Brian. Tex, I know you're a meme guy. You remember that guy, Bad Luck Brian? Back in the day?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was a great meme. I had a guy I went to middle school with that we made fun of him because he looked like Bad Luck Brian. But this is not Bad Luck Brian. This is Good Luck Brian. Everybody keeps showing Brian some love. And let's spin the wheel of punishment for Brian Stidham. Here we go. What's it going to be? What's it going to be for Brian? Oh, no. Folks, I got to raise my right hand until we get a $20 super chat. So, folks, just so you're aware on this, I got to keep my right hand raised, and we can't get to the next segment until I can put my hand down, because I can't do a segment with my hand up. So the longer this goes, the longer you have to wait on the next segment. So I'll put my hand up, but hopefully this doesn't last too long. And then when you send in a 20, I can put my hand down, and you can spin the wheel of punishment. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hopefully this doesn't take forever. By the way, folks, funny story. I know a lot of you know who my father is because you saw him make an appearance on Seahawks Today a couple weeks ago when Cooper Kupp signed. When I went home, I was needing a quarter zip to wear because it was a little chilly. I didn't pack enough quarter zips. So I borrowed my dad's quarter zip here by accident. I promise, total accident. I accidentally put this in my luggage and brought it back home with me. So, Dad, if you're watching, yes, this is your quarter zip. Sorry, I did not mean to take it from you. I will give it back to you when I see you next. So, sorry, Dad. It's an Izod. It's very comfortable. I'd like to keep it, but I promise it was purely an accident. It was purely an accident. I did not mean to take this from you. Sorry, Dad. Hand is raised until we get a $20 super chat. We cannot go any further in the show, cannot do another segment until I can put my hand down. And when you send in a 20, we will spin the wheel of punishment. So it's up to you, folks. I could do this all day. Hopefully we don't have to do this all day. My arm's going to get very sore if I had to do this forever. Up next, free agent targets. And then we will take a look at the updated depth chart for Seattle as well when we get to our final segment here on today's show. There's the Super Chat menu. Someone sent in a 20. I can put my arm down and we can spin the wheel of punishment when we get to our next segment. First time Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5 will do a beer cheers. $10 will take some shots. $20 spin the wheel of punishment. $50, it's 2 girls, 1 cup. We're at $75 in Super Chats right now. We got to get to 300 to get to a boot. So we're making some progress, but we got a little bit of a ways to go, potentially, if we want to get to a boot. So we'll see if you guys can make that happen. My arm is still up. It's starting to get sore. It is starting to get sore. I don't want to do this forever, folks. Believe me. I want to get on with the rest of this show. But I can't do that with an arm raised. And then people watching the video goes out, they see the segment like, what is wrong with this guy? Why is his arm up? Well, that's the only way we can move on is if we get a $20 Super Chat. Then I can put my arm down and we can get to the next segment. So it's up to you guys. Hopefully we don't have to do this all day. It's up to you. Poll question right now. We just talked about Stephon Gilmore a few moments ago. And 58% of you think the Hawks should sign Gilmore. 42% say no, that they should not sign Stephon Gilmore. Tex, let's get your opinion. What do you think, Stephon Gilmore, that signing makes sense?
Yeah, I think so. I think it'd be a good veteran depth piece for the team. He's good locker room presence, good leader. I think it'd be a great signing.
Okay. Let's see. Gino says it looks like you have no hand because of how high your arm is. Exactly. It's overshooting the green screen, but there it is. My hand is there. Who's going to help me out? My arm's getting sore, folks. I'm hurting. Somebody help me out. Somebody help me out so we can move on and get to the next segment. Of all you that are watching out there, I would like to get to this next segment, believe me. I would like to be able to put my arm down, but we got to get a $20 Super Chat for me to do that. Up next, we will do free agent targets. I got 5 players at 5 different positions, and it might just shock you of these 5 individuals. And then we'll get to our updated depth chart. We'll break down every single position for Seattle. Even the special teamers. We are going to give some love to and break them down coming up later on. In case you're just joining us, Seattle did make a signing earlier at the top of the hour. We brought you that news. Eric Saubert comes over from the San Francisco 49ers as a backup tight end. And that puts Seattle now at 4 tight ends. We'll include him in our depth chart video that we'll bring you coming up in just a bit. Folks, who's going to help me? I want to move on. Please, somebody, please. I would love to put my arm down. I'm hurting. We got to get a $20 Super Chat for me to put my arm down. This is not pleasant. Oh. And some people might be tuning in and get the wrong idea of what I'm doing here. They might think it's something else. We'll see. We'll see if somebody's going to help me out. This has been a while. This is going on like 5 minutes now. Jeez. Dogzilla says, how much to make Tyler also stand on one leg? If you send in a $50 Super Chat, I'll stand on one leg for a while. That won't feel good, but I can do it. I can do it potentially. Come on, somebody help me out, please. I would like to move on. Y'all are holding this show hostage right now. We cannot do anything else. We can't go any further until I can put my arm down and get this $20 super chat. I would like to move on and get to the next segment. That way I can get out of here. That way I can go home. But y'all are holding this show hostage. And I'm in some pain right now. Oh, this is not great. This is not great. First time super chat is get the Seahawks chant. $5, do a beer cheers. $10, taking some shots. $20, spinning the wheel of punishment. $50, it's 2 girls and 1 cup. Let's see. Magnum says, why the flip won't the Seahawks sign a damn old lineman like Will? Oh, thank you, Boskin. Oh, Boskin, what a relief. Everybody spam Boskin. Boskin, welcome. Been a while since I've seen you send a super chat, my guy. Welcome back. Welcome back to the big show. Thanks for helping us move on in this show. Let's answer Boskin's super chat and then spin the wheel of punishment. Hopefully I don't have to put my right arm up again. Boskin, I knew I could count on you. I knew I could count on you. The Boskin and I, we share an affinity for the Boz, by the way. I know he didn't have a great career in Seattle, but I do love the Boz, and I know the Boskin does too. We need to draft Zabel at pick 18. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea, Boskin. Yeah, I think that's a good call potentially. I could very well see him doing that. Boskin, much appreciated. Let's spin the wheel of punishment for Boskin. Hopefully I don't have to raise my right hand again. We can do the next segment. 20 jumping jacks. That's fine. That is much better. We're just over $200 away from a boot, my friends. Can we do a boot before in today's show? We'll find out. We got 2 more segments to go. Here we go. 20 jumping jacks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Boskin. Thank you for that. All right. Now, on with the show we go. Let me get a drink of water, and then we'll go over for agent target. Here we go, my friends. It is segment 3 of our 4-segment live show. Let's get after it and continue here on this live edition of Seahawks Today. Tex, you ready? Cool, I'm ready too. Here we go, folks. Updated free agent targets starting right now. You're watching Seattle Seahawks Today, powered by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for joining us. Coming up on today's show, we are going to go over some updated free agent targets for your Seattle Seahawks. And I'll tell you this much, it just might shock you. Before we do, if you want Seattle to make another big signing in free agency, they got the money to do it. Now we're waiting. Come on, John. What are you going to do? If you want it to happen, hit the like button. We get 500 likes on today's video. I guarantee we're going to get another big signing. Hit the like button. We'll get started with today's show. Thanks for joining us. Tyler Jones here with you. Thanks for being here. I got 5 new potential NFL free agency targets for Seattle at 5 different positions. So let's get right to it. Let's begin with today's list as we start with David Andrews, formerly of the New England Patriots, a center who has had a very good career in New England. He's looking for a new home, and he's a winner. I mean, David Andrews was a guy that I think a lot of people over the last few seasons were saying to themselves, man, I wish I had David Andrews on my team. He won a lot of football games. He was a great leader and a great locker room guy. He's a bit older now. He's had some injury issues, but still has something to offer. David Andrews, this will be the first time that he has played for a team not known as the New England Patriots. Won 2 Super Bowls in New England, was named to the Patriots All-2010s team as well in his time there, getting to play alongside Tom Brady and Gronk and Julian Edelman and those guys. He was kind of seen leading the way for those New England teams for a number of years with the New England Patriots, and just did a really good job of just holding things down and being the de facto leader of those guys up front with how he managed to do things with the New England Patriots. And you know, I don't know, honestly, how much you can expect to get out of David Andrews if he can play a full 17-game slate, but I can't imagine him costing too much, and at the very least, it would be great to have in the locker room. Numbers were still all right last year, according to Pro Football Focus. Overall grade, 58.7. Pass block rate of 60.0. Run block rate of 60.1. And with where this Seattle offensive line is at, yeah, I can find a place for him. If I have to move Olu to guard to make it work, we can make that work potentially for Seattle here. Folks, you need to subscribe to Seattle Seahawks today. We're closing in on 65,000 subscribers on the channel, but we need your help to get there. For elite NFL free agency content, you got to be sub to the channel. Best part about it, 100% free, whether it's a live show, whether it's a breaking news segment, maybe it's something I'm recording from my house, from the Jones Zone, whatever it may be. We are bringing you nonstop coverage like no one else is. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/Seahawks TV. You'll be glad you did. Next up, we find Shaq Mason, formerly of the Houston Texans, at the offensive guard spot, 31 years of age. And let's be frank with y'all, he had a very bad year in 2024. He tied for the league lead among guards of most sacks given up this past season with 8. Not great. But I don't think this past year defines Shaq Mason, folks. Previously with the Texans, the Bucs, the Patriots, he's won 2 Super Bowls. A lot of experience, 152 career games played with 147 starts in his career. Shaq Mason's been solid. One bad year, it didn't go the way that things had planned, but I think that it's one where this could be a risk worth taking because outside of the sacks, everything else was solid. Overall grade of 62.3, pass block rate of 65.2, run block rate of 57.7. I think that Shaq Mason, there's reason to be optimistic, potentially taking a chance on this signing because of everything else going okay and with what he's done prior to this past season. If you had to pick one to sign, would you rather go David Andrews or Shaq Mason of the 2 former Patriots? Which one would you rather have on your team? Type DA for David Andrews, type SM for Shaq Mason. Get in that comment section and let me know. Folks, today's show is sponsored by our friends at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose 2 or more players on any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points, rebounds in basketball, goals in hockey, all sorts of different categories to choose from. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while watching sports. Join over 10 million users and sign up today. On Prize Picks, you can mix and match player projections from different sports, combine your favorite basketball players with players from baseball, hockey, esports, and much more. The app is really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do is pick more or less than a few player stats for your shot to win up to 1,000 times your money. PrizePicks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this sports season. Download the app today. Use code CLNS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS. Get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. And, folks, we're talking the big dance. You know me. I love March this time of year. And I got an easy one on Thursday. Cooper Flagg to have more than half a point. Pretty confident it's going to happen. Mark Sears, I think BYU's defense is going to hold him to under 20.5. I'll take the less on that. If I put $20 down and both those hit, that turns into $60 on PrizePicks. Play along with us. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Prize Picks, run your game. Check them out today. You'll be glad you did. Up next, let's go to the receiver position. That is where we find Keenan Allen, who was most recently with the Chicago Bears after spending most of his career with the Los Angeles Chargers. And I know he's a bit older now. He's in his 30s. But Keenan Allen still has plenty to offer his next team. Is he the same player he used to be? No, but he is still a very good receiver, folks. A 6-time Pro Bowler, the NFL's Comeback Player of the Year in 2017. Keenan Allen has been solid. He's been very consistent throughout his career as well. And you look at this receiving core. You love what you have in JSN. You're excited about Cooper Kupp. But then after that, there's a significant drop-off. And Keenan Allen, I think, would be just as good, if not better, than any number 3 receiver in the NFL. Last year, yes, his numbers were down a bit from what they were in 2023. But, folks, those numbers were still considerably better than what Tyler Lockett's were. 70 catches, 744 yards, 7 touchdowns, nearly 11 yards of reception. The year prior to that, 1,200 yards, 7 touchdowns, 108 catches. This could be a nice fit in Seattle's offense, bringing in Keenan Allen there. Up next, let's go to the safety position. This is where we find Justin Simmons. Safety, most recently with the Atlanta Falcons, and we've talked about this before. Mike Mack has made it known that he wants to be able to play 3 safeties on the field at the same time. And we're pretty excited about what Kobe Bryant is going to do after having a strong finish to 2024. You got a Pro Bowl caliber player in Julian Love. Why not add Justin Simmons to that fold and just have 3 beasts back there, a 3-headed monster manning your safety room, similar to what Macdonald had in Baltimore just a few years ago. Simmons, a 2-time Pro Bowler in 2020 and in 2023, a 4-time second-team All-Pro, 2019 and then 2021 through 2023. He was the NFL's co-leader in interceptions in 2022. And to me, the role that I would carve out for him would be similar to what Mike Macdonald did with Geno Stone a few years ago. When Geno Stone was that number 3 safety and was near the top in the NFL in interceptions. I think Justin Simmons can do that same thing. Last year in Atlanta, after leaving Denver, had 62 tackles, 2 TFLs, 7 pass breakups, and 2 interceptions. The year prior to that, in Denver, when he was a second-team All-Pro, had 70 tackles, 2 TFLs, 8 pass breakups, 3 interceptions, and 2 forced fumbles. I like the idea of Justin Simmons potentially coming to Seattle there. Who's a player the Hawks should sign? We've gone over a few names. I got one more name to get to in a moment, but want to hear from you guys first. Give me a name in the comments section that you would like to see end up on this Seahawks team in 2025. Our last name on the list. Let's go to the corner position. This is where we find a very familiar name to football fans. Asante Samuel Jr., a 25-year-old who was most recently with the LA Chargers. My first question is this. How in the hell is he still available here in NFL free agency? He's a good football player. He's young. It blows my mind. This is a starting caliber corner we're talking about here, and he's still waiting on his name to be called for somebody to sign him. Why not pick up the phone and start him at corner here in Seattle, folks? More on Asante Samuel Jr., previously played with the Chargers, 50 career games played with 47 starts. He is the son of the great Asante Samuel Sr. and comes from a great football family, very good pedigree, and he's done a good job to carry on his dad's name in the NFL. His statistics over the years, last year was a bit banged up, only played in 4 games, but prior to that, 2 interceptions in 2023, 2 interceptions in 2022. 2 interceptions in 2021. Very consistent. A good, not great player, and that's okay. I don't need great. I just need a quality starter on the outside, and Asante Samuel Jr. can do that. Thanks for joining us here on this edition of Seattle Seahawks Today. For continuing Seahawks coverage, subscribe now for free. YouTube.com/Seahawks TV. I'm Tyler Jones. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time. All right. There we go, folks. One more segment to go. It's our updated depth chart in just a moment. Name a player Seahawks should sign. JB says Cam Akers. Jingle. I'm not going to say your full name, Jingle, because that's a bit much. He says Amari Cooper. JB says they should get David Andrews and Will Hernandez. Boskin says Samuel can't tackle. Jingle says Amari Cooper at wide receiver 3. I've seen that talked about. Boskin says Cooper is a ghost receiver. Yeah, he kind of disappeared at times last year with Buffalo. You're not wrong about that. I was disappointed what he did with the Buffalo Bills. Lon says Walter Jones. I wish Walter Jones could resurrect and be what he was many, many years ago. That'd be awesome if that was the case. Super Chat menu, we're at $95 right now. Got to get to $300 to get to a boot. We got one more segment to go. First half Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5 will do a beer cheers. $10 take down some shots. $20 spin the wheel of punishment. $50 will give you 2 girls and 1 cup. That looks great. All right. Without further ado, Jingle says that's okay. I don't have to say his full name. Thank you, Jingle. We'll just call you Jingle. It's okay. Hopefully you understand. You understand. I'm not trying to turn into a meme here, you know. We'll stick with Jingle. All right. Very good. Yes, sir. Final segment before we get out of here. It is a look at the updated depth chart for Seattle. We'll go through every single position group, including the special teamers. That is next. Yes, sir. Oh, I'll throw that in there. We'll throw it before offensive line. Cool. All right. Without further ado, our final segment, the Seahawks updated depth chart. Let's discuss, break it down piece by piece, and then we'll wrap up and call it a day. Tyler Jones, Big Tex here with you. Big Tex and I, we were talking before the show, what came first, the chicken or the egg? Because you guys came up with it. You guys are known as the chicken of the sea. That was a common theme this past football season, that the Seahawks are the chicken of the sea. And we were wondering what came first, the chicken or the egg. And I asked Tex this question, and Chat GPT verified Tex's answer. Tex, tell the folks out there your explanation of what came first, the chicken or the egg.
I said it was the egg because you have to have the chicken come from somewhere. It doesn't just spawn out of nowhere. And so you have to have the first egg to create the first chicken so it can create more eggs to create more chickens and start the cycle. And ChatGPT agreed and said the egg was the first to be on the earth, not the chicken.
Tex knows chickens.
That's right. And some AI.
And some AI. When you see, I say this respectfully, Tex, he's a computer nerd. I think he'd actually appreciate me calling him that, actually. I say that with respect. One day, Tex is going to come up with his own AI, and I already came up with the name. We'd have to call it Text Me.
Text me.
Text me.
That's right. That's right.
Lon says the chicken came first. The Lord made the animals easy first. Okay.
Or the Lord made the egg to make the animals. There you go.
Boom.
Boom. Problem solved.
There it is. All right. Final segment, depth chart up next, and then we'll wrap up and call it a day. Jonesy and Big Tex here with you. Let's update the depth chart. Tell you about it as we continue. We roll along here on this live edition of Seahawks Today, starting right now. Welcome in to Seahawks Today. Tyler Jones, your somewhat capable host here with you. And what we're going to do here on today's show is a little exercise. We're going to give you the updated depth chart for your Seattle Seahawks if the season began today. Now, obviously, this is going to look much different after the draft and UDFAs and potential more signings and trades that happen. But we just want to know, How does this team stack up if they had to take the football field tomorrow? We're going to go over every single position group, piece by piece. I'll give you my thoughts coming up in just a matter of moments. Before we do, folks, it has been an awesome month here on the channel. Really a historic month here on Seahawks Today. And I want to go out with a bang, a big bang. Make Darwin proud, folks. Let's set the comments record for the month of March. Spam S in the comments section. The most comments we've had in a single video this month is 379. I want to get to 500 today. And if we reach 500 comments or more, I will shout out whoever spams S the most on a future edition of Seahawks Today. So that's all you got to do. Spam S, and we'll get started with today's show. So, folks, without further ado, we're going to go through the depth chart piece by piece and go over the starters as well as the players behind them. I'll share my thoughts. So let's begin with the new look quarterback position for your Seattle Seahawks. Sam Darnold is your QB1, and currently there are two Sams in the building. Sam I am making green eggs and ham in Seattle these days. So Darnold is your QB1. Hal is your QB2. And Jarran Hall, who just had a birthday this week, happy birthday, Jarran Hall, is your QB3, basically your practice squad quarterback. I think what's next for the quarterback position for the Hawks is Sam Howell, I expect to be gone. It's Jobe, as the kids say, for Sam Howell. I think that Seattle is going to draft a quarterback day 2 or day 3 to replace Sam Howell, and then Sam Howell will go elsewhere, be released or traded, whatever it may be, and that will be what your quarterback room looks like. So more changes still coming there. The running back room for Seattle. Kenneth Walker III is your RB1, Zach Charbonnet your RB2. I do think with the way Charbonnet performed last year that they are closer to a 1A, 1B situation, that both of them are valuable. Both of them can start and get the job done at any time. I think the strength you have there is in the numbers with those two. Kenny McIntosh, very capable as your RB3. I like George Holani, too. I think you got some really good depth. And I would argue that this unit is the best unit on Seattle's roster right now. Now, if they could just get some offensive line to block for them, then they could be very useful and get the most out of those guys. And another thing, too, I would say, is the running back position for years, even before these guys. You go back to Penny and Carson and others, they've struggled to stay healthy at the running back position. So I'm glad they have depth here because in all likelihood, all four of those guys are probably going to see the field at some point in 2025. How would you grade the Seahawks depth chart? It's our pinned comment today. A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think of this group? You might get an ad break while the ad's playing. Get your votes in. Let us know. A, B, C, D, or F. What do you think of the depth chart for Seattle in 2025? Let's go to the receiving room for Seattle. Cooper Kupp, your left wide receiver. MVS, your right wide receiver. JSN holding things down in the slot. That could change. We could see more of JSN on the outside this year. And then some new names in the mix. You got like River Craycraft is in there. Jake Bobo, Derek Young, among others there. I would say when it comes to this receiver group, it's not bad, but it's not great either. I expect one more receiver to get in the mix for these receivers, whether it's somebody in the draft or another signing, and then you could be feeling really good. But for now, still a work in progress. The tight end room for the Hawks, Noah Fant is still around. A lot of people thought that Noah Fant was going to get cut. He's still here. A.J. Barner, your tight end 2. Brady Russell, your tight end 3. And then your newest addition, Saubert, comes in from the San Francisco 49ers. I look at this tight end position, and I think it could be better here. Noah Fant is good, not great. Kind of overpaid. A.J. Barner, I know a lot of you have been saying, man, he could be our tight end 1. No. Definitely not. A.J. Barner is a solid number 2 tight end. He's nothing more. He's nothing less. And we've already heard that Clint Kubiak wants to use this tight end position more than we've ever seen in Seattle. That it is going to be vital for this position group to be used properly in this offense, whether it's in the draft like Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland, whether it's another trade or free agency. I would like to see some improvement with this tight end room. Now, should they keep Noah Fant or should they upgrade and go with somebody else? Let us know. Type Y for yes, in for no, if Seattle should keep Noah Fant or not. Cooper Kupp jerseys are on sale now. Chatsports.com/Cup. Free shipping is available on these jerseys as well. We also have other Seahawks merchandise, including Sam Darnold jerseys on sale. Go to that same link, chatsports.com/Cup, to get yours today. I can't think of a better way to be supporting the home state guy in Cooper Kupp than by getting his jersey. This summer, when you're at the cookout, when you're enjoying times on the lake, maybe on the Columbia River, whatever it may be, you need to be supporting a Cooper Kupp jersey. Get yours now, chatsports.com/Cup. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Let's go to the offensive line now. And Charles Cross, your starting left tackle. Abraham Lucas, your starting right tackle. And then after that, woof. It's brutal, folks. It's not great. Olu, I can be optimistic about. Everything else has me nervous as hell. This, folks, as the great Simon Cowell once said, I'm not being rude, but this is the worst offensive line in football. This is a disgrace. This is disgusting. Oh, I'm at a loss for words. And not to mention, it didn't have to be this way. You missed out on a couple of the guards you were looking at in free agency. And here we are. And for as much improvements as we've seen on this team across the board, doesn't mean a damn thing if you can't get this offensive line right. If the offensive line could improve, Seattle gets in the playoffs next year. Doesn't look that way right now. This is bad. This is worrisome, my friends. Let's go to the defensive line now. Where I got to tell you, I really like this group for Seattle. Leonard Williams at the defensive end spot. Byron Murphy the second at the nose tackle position. Jarran Reed at the defensive tackle spot. And credit where credit's due to John and Mike for making the necessary improvements. Trading for Leonard Williams at the trade deadline a couple years ago was an awesome move by John Schneider and company and locking him up long term. Byron Murphy, I think, is going to turn into a star in this league. Jarran Reed getting him re-signed, that's great. But beyond that, you don't really have much depth. You can't really afford one injury at this position because you don't have a ton to back them up. And if one guy goes down, then it's full-on chaos at that point. It doesn't look great. I would like to see Seattle make some investments in some guys to hold things down. We saw what the Philadelphia Eagles did in the Super Bowl, winning at the line of scrimmage with their defensive line. But one of the things that made the Eagles great was it wasn't just their starters. It was their backups as well. Seattle doesn't have that at the moment. The linebacker room for Seattle. DeMarcus Lawrence, welcome aboard, my friend. One of the biggest signings for Seattle in free agency. Uchenna is back. Some people thought he was going to get released. He took a pay cut. He returns. Ernest Jones and Tyrese Knight holding things down inside as well. Excited to have Ernest Jones back in town. And there's some real depth here when you talk about Boye Mafe, Derek Hall. You can never have too many pass rushers. I would say, folks, that this group is what I call sneaky good. This is a sneaky good unit. I don't think a lot of people around the league are going to be talking about how good this linebacker unit is for Seattle. I think that it's not getting enough attention, and it's going to catch some teams off guard with what they can do, with how creative they can get with these linebackers. I'm very intrigued, very excited about this group. It's going to surprise some people and catch them on their toes a bit. Who's your favorite new Seahawks player? We've gone over several of them. We still got more to get to on today's show. But who is it? Who comes to mind? Wait in that comment section. Give me a name that is your favorite new Seahawks player here in 2025. The corner room for Seattle. Josh Jobe, Rick Woolen, Devin Witherspoon. They're all back. Then you have some new faces like Jean Charles joining the fold. Pritchett, Williams, Hall. The corner room, I think, is serviceable. But here's the truth of the matter. You cannot start Josh Jobe. I'm glad Josh Jobe is back. 1 year, $2 million. I'll gladly take him on my team. And he did a pretty decent job, all things considered, filling in for Trey Brown last year when Trey Brown got hurt. But he needs to be a backup. He cannot be my starting corner, whether it's somebody in the draft, a free agent signing, or a trade. They need to go get a real starting outside corner and can't be starting Josh Jobe next year. I'll gladly have Josh back, and he's more than capable of stepping up if I need him to fill in for an injury, but we can't be doing the Josh Jobe thing. We deserve better than that. The safety room for Seattle. I think people are excited about this group. I certainly am. Julian Love, he's a Pro Bowler. Kobe Bryant had a strong finish to the year last year. Then you got some other pieces like Bell, who you brought in, Finley, Reed comes back from injury, among others. I'm excited about this group. And I think Mike Macdonald is going to get the most out of them. And I think Kobe Bryant is the one that I think people are keeping their eyes on because he took a big step up. But will that continue? Can he build upon that? Remember, he was still learning the safety position. He had been a corner his whole life. Let's see what he can potentially do. The special teams unit, I like what's there with Myers, Dixon, Stoll, McIntosh, Cody White, among others. But let's be real for a moment. The special teams unit was a disaster for Seattle in 2024. And Jay Harbaugh is to blame. Jay Harbaugh almost got fired, folks. And I wouldn't say it was necessarily Myers and Dixon and those guys' fault. The blocking, which was an ongoing theme on offense, was a problem for the special teams unit and created a lot of chaos. Jay Harbaugh's got work to do. He's got to clean up a lot of things to get this special teams unit up to snuff. It cannot be a detriment. It cannot hold this team back. That's where we're at right now. How would you grade the depth chart? You've seen it all now. A, B, C, D, or F. Get your grades in the comments section. Let me know what your grade is. Appreciate you joining us here on this edition of Seahawks Today. I'm Tyler Jones. We'll see you next time here on the channel. All right. There we go. We're through all our segments. We did have some more Super Chats come in. We'll pay those off here in just a moment. There is the Super Chat menu if you'd like to participate. First time Super Chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, do a beer cheers. $10, take some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50, give you a little 2 girls, 1 cup action. We're at 115 right now. We've got to get to 300 to get to a boot here on today's show. First Super Chat, this one's for Big Tex. That's a shot. I'll take a shot. We'll bring Big Tex on screen. So earlier, Big Tex explained to you all that the egg came before the chicken.
Right.
But Brian wants to know, Tex, where did the egg come from?
I mean, that's
Cheers.
that's a deep question, man, because you got to think about it. If you're asking where the egg came from, where did the Big Bang come? Where did the first atom split apart from? Where did that come from? What started that? That's life's biggest mystery, man. If I had the answer for you, Brian, I would tell you because
wait a sec. I thought you answered it there by saying the egg came from the Big Bang.
Yeah, I guess you're right. In a way, I did answer it that way. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
So Brian, there's your answer from Big Tex. The egg came from the Big Bang.
Right.
And so we're getting a little sciencey here on today's show. Brian, thanks for that Super Chat. Much appreciated. Dan the Man Miller with a $5 super chat. So I think if Schneider doesn't sign an offensive lineman in free agency, he'll be fired next year. Where do you weigh in? Yeah, if he doesn't get the offensive line figured out, he's cooked. It's Jobe. Absolutely. Now, maybe he saves it in the draft. I'm not getting my hopes up. But, yeah, if he doesn't get the offensive line figured out and this team misses the playoffs again, yeah, it's sayonara for John Schneider. I think, Dan, you are absolutely right about that. I don't know why John's not taking his job seriously. I don't know. Does John not understand that if he doesn't fix this offensive line, that he's going to be delivering for Uber Eats? I mean, that's a fact. So, Dan, cheers to you. And then Dan saying stupid autocorrect supposed to be offensive line. I knew what you meant. Dan. I was picking up what you were laying down. You're not a square. You're Dan the Man Miller. I do miss the wolf. That's his dog now in that avatar. All right. We've gone through all our segments now. It's been a fun show today. If we get a super chat of any amount in this next minute, we'll stay live, keep the show going. If not, we'll sign off and call it a day. First time super chatters get the Seahawks chant. $5, do a beer cheers. $10, do some shots. $20, spin the wheel of punishment. $50, 2 girls, 1 cup. Up to you guys. $sign next to the chat box if you would like to contribute. In case you're just joining us, we did have some breaking news earlier. Eric Saubert, former Niners tight end, has signed with Seattle. We did a segment on that earlier in the show. If you missed out on it, it is now on the channel. So once we get done with today's show, then you can go watch that segment for a full analysis and tell you everything you need to know about Eric Saubert on the channel. We also asked you earlier, we talked about Stephon Gilmore. Should the Seahawks sign Gilmore? 59% of you say yes. 41% say no on if they should sign Gilmore or not. Weigh in the comment section. Let us know if they should sign him or not. All right. So I didn't see any more super chats come in, so we will sign off. Appreciate y'all being here. You got a bonus segment today. We didn't expect that breaking news to come, but we appreciate y'all being here with a reaction to that signing. More to come on the channel throughout the next several days as we continue to cover free agency. Subscribe now for free. Oh, Dan the Man Miller right at the buzzer. We are not going anywhere just yet. Dan the Man. He wants to spin the wheel of punishment. Dan, nice work. Right in time. I was just about to get out of here. Right at the buzzer. I love it, Dan. I love it, Dan. Puts us at 135 now in Super Chats. We'll get to Dan's Super Chat here in just a moment. We'll spin the wheel of punishment. We just thought we were about to leave. Not quite. Not quite. Dan the Man Miller. The offensive line can't be corrected in the draft, can it? I think we need free agency to get it fixed. I agree. Dan. That's what I've been saying this offseason, that the offensive line has to be – it's got a combination. It's got to be a combination, free agency and the draft. Now, that's what I think. We'll see. Maybe John hits some home runs on some picks and surprises us. It's not impossible, but it's unlikely, I would say, that it gets solely fixed in the draft. I think you're right about that, Dan. It's got to be a combination. It's not looking too optimistic on that front, Dan. I think you're spot on. I think you're spot on there. Let's spin the wheel of punishment. What's it going to be, folks? Big money. $20 jumping jacks. 20 jumping jacks. And then we got another super chat rolling in from Brennan as well. Here we go. 20 jumping jacks. I've already done 20 today. This will put me at 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There we go. There's your 20 jumping jacks. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Dan the Man Miller. Salute to you, my friend, for that super chat. Brennan with a $5 super chat. That's Boskins from earlier. Dogzilla says, what the hell does 2 girls, 1 cup mean? Well, if you send in a $50 super chat, Dogzilla, we show you 2 girls and we drink 1 cup of beer. Jingle with that name, I know you know what 2 girls, 1 cup is. I would bet money Jingle's probably watched that video a few times. Brennan with the $5 super chat with the jumping emoji. Thank you for that, Brennan. $5 super chat. That's a beer cheers to you. Cheers to you, Brennan. There we go. All right, on that note, let's get out of here. Oh, wait. Not quite. You all just keep the show going. I love it. I respect it. Dan with another 5. What is your perfect O-line draft look like? It's a very good question. I would say my perfect O-line draft, I would go with either Tyler Booker or Kelvin Banks in the first round. And then I would get Tate Ratledge as well from Georgia. And then I think I'd be feeling pretty good. If I could get round 1, get either Banks or Booker, and then get Tate Ratledge, I think that we'd be cooking with bacon grease. We'd be cooking with gas all of a sudden on the offensive line. To add those 2 to the mix, I think you'd be feeling a lot better if that's the case. Dan the Man Miller, another beer cheers to you. All right. Now, let's get out of here. Folks, a lot of fun today. Appreciate y'all being here with us. More coverage on the channel throughout the coming days ahead. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/SeahawksTV. I'm Tyler Jones for Big Tex. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next time.